Hello. So, Trial of Instant Riches and Costly Doom for the 31st of March. So, spawn 5 coins every time you start a stage, and whenever you spend any of those coins, spawn a Harbinger. That is actually unfortunate. I thought I'd read that as Canker. That is not a Canker, and I need to make a quick amendment here. That is interesting. So long as I only spend coins in shops, I'm okay, and this is just a pretty strong vanilla roll. Yeah, I don't like that, and well, substitute means I get to hold on to my sushi, starter, whatever. I mean, it's sushi, isn't it? Come on. You know, I like a bit of sushi. Don't have it very often though. You can get Japanese food in the UK, and it's not like it's exactly rare or anything. It's just, you know, it's not as common, not as common like it. Wow, let me start that again as a sentence, shall I? It's not as common as things like, you know, your pizza, your chips, your whatever. They do say that the most beloved food in this country is like Indian cuisine, which will just get put under a blanket umbrella of curry because we don't really know what we're talking about, which is pretty terrible, but well, far be it from me to change anything there. I mean, you know, you do what you can. You try to have a little bit of cultural sensitivity, but you certainly can't. Well, as a friend of mine learned, you can't try to correct people when they're very wrong, and in some cases actually openly racist without getting your head kicked in. But less said about that, the better, perhaps. There are 2 left, and I know there's a 5 around here. Wowie. I don't really want to get hits. It could kill me. It might not. Maybe there is a better time to use the old bomb there. 2 to go around here, meaning that has to be 1. Yep. So wasn't the safest of gambles, but it's fine. Right, I'm going to spend my coins in here. See what we've got. Yes, please. I had a run yesterday. I didn't record it because, well, frankly, there were other people in the house, and it makes me feel like a crazy person to talking to a microphone when anyone else is in the house. But yeah, I got Overgrowth, which is the the omen that spawns a hungry plant every 3 turns, and you must pay 10 coins to feed anything to a hungry plant. And then I got Friendly Fire, which by far is my absolute favourite combination in the entire game, because every 3 turns an NPC is going to spawn, which is going to throw out some flares in just a random direction. So yeah, it's lethal. It is absolutely lethal. I really shouldn't be trying to glean... Oh, sorry, I keep using those terms interchangeably, and it's not correct. I should be trying to avoid cording wherever possible, because what I've really got the sapling for is to generate additional... miracle seeds. I'm aware that it will generate demon seeds, and I very rarely use those, but I do like a good miracle seed. Now then, I've got to actually think about this, haven't I? One of these 2 must be, which means that 2 is basically covered, but that doesn't do me that much good, does it? One of these 2 is definitely covered, which means that's fine. And then all around... Ooh, boy. No. No. Ah, God's sake. That's terrible. This feels like one of those runs that's interesting. Okay, now I do have a reason to really overuse my turns, because I want to unlock that. I don't like the item much, but as I've said before, I've got to get them unlocked. But yeah, I think this run will live or die on the strength of its first item shop. Well, just on the strength of its shops in general, because it's going to be potentially quite a high cash run. An early double is actually quite nice, although it is what resulted in me dying. But, you know, fine. Let's guarantee us an extra heart at this stage. I could not care much less about that. And you're down. I wanted to see if he'd drop anything, but of course he won't. Yeah, we're going to go in there with at least 29 coins. That's a decent amount for shop 1, and now we've got some extra money. Now that is always welcome. In fact, that's welcome enough that it's almost worth not opening any more chests. Now it's worth not opening any more chests. Yeah. So, while it isn't the most powerful item in the game, it certainly synergizes like a son of a gun with all kinds of things. and I dearly love that item. Yeah, so I didn't realise there'd been an announcement fairly recently that they are going to completely renovate Endless Multiverse. I say they, I'm still certain that this development team is a one-man band. Although I did find it interesting that the voiceover very distinctly sounded very distinctly American, because I thought that the guy who put this together was British, on account of the yes, oh, that could have been better. Spawn a Harbinger, yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, on account of the Harry Enfield references in the in some of the item text. Oh, my shower appears to be venting itself. Good, it kind of does that when you've just had a bit of a wash. But yeah, I'm quite interested in the renovation to, admittedly, a game mode I don't really play much of. I'm certainly open to trying it. The thing I don't like about Endless Multiverse, people say it's the way to earn tokens and, you know, pins and other, you know, miscellaneous consumables. I don't like how, like, every run is pretty much a roll to see whether you're going to, every time you hit a way gate, I forgot I wasn't opening those. Still a good item though. Yeah, I forgot that, yeah, the way gates feel like, basically you're going to, potentially lose quite hard just based on what the waygate decides to do to you, and I am not a fan of that kind of you know, like roll the dice or die kind of, well, roll the dice and potentially die kind of gameplay. Good old spy. +2 souls. Yeah, we're onto a fairly good start here. Right. Bloodway. Okay. Right. But yeah, some things to do to mitigate just having a really nasty case of the randoms would be, I think, enough to get me kind of interested in it. It does seem like it's still going to be a race to die, because Lord knows Endless Multiverse isn't really designed to be won, to be survived. You are going to die. But just to have a little more, to feel like I had more of a chance, I think I would find more satisfying. And the stuff that they're putting in doesn't look to be, you know, earth-shatteringly different, but just enough to be interesting. And yeah, I'll happily have a crack at that. And until then, I may play a little bit of vanilla Endless Multiverse just to, you know, just keep my hand in. Oh, you know, it's interesting. Fine. It's honestly fine. What she got? Yeah. It's not amazing. Oh yeah, friendly fire. Well, didn't the last stage just get more interesting? if I'd have remembered I had friendly fire, I would have been far more interested in getting this. Shops have another item, spawn a familiar in the target cell. Yes, please. And, Yeah, that's not bad. Plus, it's potentially more ammunition for the wizard hat. Good times. I am going to lean heavily on the Loudhailer for now, unless I really need the assistance. Simply because Loudhailer with friendly fire is pretty nice. Pretty nice. That's absolutely fine. And then give me that. And we'll just move along and solve this one all nice and casual like. And job's a good one. Do we take the bones? Yeah, you take the bones. Could be good. Could be useless. Probably going to be useless. 30 coins after the amount of money these levels should be generating me just from starting them is not the greatest. Actually, yeah, I am glad I skipped the shop now that I've just had Crucible recharge itself. Yeah, you want to get the most out of that. Mutton plus that Horn of Plenty kind of thing. Not cornucopia. What's it friggin' called? The Resolute Horn. Yeah, it's not a Horn of Plenty. It's all our cornucopia. No, cornucopia is a cornucopia. Is a Horn of Plenty, I believe. But yeah. Yeah, mutton's okay with that, and I don't normally particularly care about mutton, but that's fine. I don't think I need to use Loudhailer here. This level is looking solvable. I mean, thinking it through, it would make sense to save the Loudhailer for when I'm really in a bind. I may just get a little overexcited and just end up basically blowing my wad immediately, because I do that when I've got friendly fire. Just can't help myself. Having said that, this is not looking like a good board. Loudhailer costs 200 mana versus 70 mana. That's very cheap. So we do that. And then we're looking at this is safe. So we do the old spy trick while we're not using flag charges. Then 1, 2, 3 and 4. And we solve that. 1, 2 and 3. And then we are in a pickle, aren't we? Although there's an odd number here, so it isn't going to be a 50-50, I believe. So, if this is a mine, then these can't be a mine, this is a mine, and that resolves. And if this is a mine, these can't be mines. Does it resolve though? Does any of this work? If this is a mine, any of these could be mines. But I know that this can't be a mine. This does feel solvable, doesn't it? Tricky, but solvable. I'm not going to die here, no matter what I do. Let me just sound it out. So, that's a mine. That isn't a mine. Which means one of these two are a mine. So that's no, it is a 50-50, isn't it? Anyway, you slice it. So I think my best odds are along here, where only one of these could be a mine. Honestly, now. Well, that's what time is for, isn't it? Do we? Windy sucks. Predatory Uncharted. Yeah, I think we buy some some items. That's interesting. That's omen proofing, which is nice. But that's a guaranteed win on the boss. Plus a lot of natural armour. So all we've got to hope for is that Windy doesn't take away my friendly fire. Because if it does, I'm going to get a little bit upset. I'm going to drop this here because this level's looking a little dubious. So I know that that has to be, and one of these must be, so and yes. More mucilage. In fact, mucilage in general. So I've got omen protection, so I can go back to opening chests. He is going to stand there and just solve for me. Yeah, you use that right now. Because that could synergize up. Well, for one thing, it's going to heal me, and it could synergize up quite well with my. Okay, fine. Resolute Horn. So, yep, full health. That's fine. Yep, nearly clicked on fire there. I'm just over-clicking here to ensure that I get the most out of my flares. Although the smith has gone and killed himself. It's going to happen though, isn't it? So yeah. Well, we did okay there. And now we can just go back to... Oh, there we go. Hey, miracle seed. Always a pleasure to see. In case I haven't explained this before, or in case this is the first one of these you've seen, you really want to take a miracle seed if you see it, just to increase the size of the final stage. It will create more empty space, because it makes the levels bigger but doesn't add more monsters. So it will create more empty space, so there's more chance for loot to appear, because loot appears in empty spaces unless you have... there are items that cause loot to appear in unusual, like in spaces that aren't a zero. But also, if there are fewer... if there's more empty space, then you're going to find more sort of like chains of zero spaces. Levels tend to be easier to solve. It means that the boss has more empty space to walk around in, so we'll generally have to walk further to get to dark hearts on the other side of the screen. Although it does give more chance to dark hearts to spawn, because there's more room for loot to spawn and dark hearts count as loot. But the main reason you do it is that if there's more loot spawning, there's more chance of rare loot spawning, and then you just get more pains and good stuff like that. Now, I really should have been paying more attention to that, but I wasn't, so I didn't. One of these is, and so one of these is. That's not good. I know one of these is and one of these is. So we're in 50-50 land, and I can't even tell how many monsters there even are. So, but that's definitely one. That definitely isn't. Good old red flag. Which has just saved my bacon yet again. And then, 50-50 time. 1, 2, 3, monster. Well, lost my boots. But they have served a very valuable purpose by just covering me once. What are we going to lose? Yeah, that's okay. The loud hailer is a bit of a sharp loss, I will admit, but that's alright. Spawn cankers. I like it, but I could stand to see what else is in the bazaar. I'm not selling that, you can get away with that idea. Okay, that was a loss. But okay. Pop that while you've got that, just in case something bad were to happen to it. So now I could really just do with some NPCs spawning of their own accord, because since this is timeless, there is no way for me to generate more mana to, well, I can't rely on Loud Hailer anyway because I just got it blown away. Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, I read the computer chip there as being one of the background tiles because they're quite sort of similar in sprite. That was a little bit careless of me. It just occurred, you know, that I'm vaguely aware of the sound of my own voice. And it reminds me ever so slightly of a more effeminate, freaky Fred from Coach the Cowardly Dog. Oh, status effect timers, not mana generation. Misread that entirely. I feel like Courage the Cowardly Dog was just a little ahead of its time. Some of those episodes are really quite. I don't know about frightening, but the visual style it goes with is really great. And some of the monsters in there are absolutely fantastic. I don't hold with the common opinion that King Ramses is the most frightening thing. No, he didn't particularly freak me out, but the blue thing in Perfect, that shocked me the first time I saw it. I thought, and gosh, it doesn't even do anything. It just tells you that you're not perfect. And the whatever it is that's playing the trombone in the one where I think he's running up through an apartment block building, that shocked me a bit as well. It was kind of a jump scare. I don't normally care for a jump scare, but it can be well done. I liked there's a short film that got released a while ago. They made a major motion picture out of it, and I'll say major. I don't think it was that big. I've heard it wasn't that good. Heard that wasn't. Start that again. I've heard it wasn't that good either. But Lights Out. It was a really solid short movie. Oh, got rid of my mucilage as well, and I didn't even notice. I mean, the monster in Lights Out isn't anything to write home about. It's pretty generic, like, you know, bugaboo jump scare monster. But oh sorry, Ooga Booga, not bugaboo. What am I saying? But the suspense that thing built up was unbelievable. Mjolnir. Always interesting. Now you want a decent square. That you do. But that's fine. I'm always happy to see it. I'm happier to see it earlier. I'll put it that way. Mjolnir can do some fairly disgusting things if you get it very early on. At this late stage of the game, not as interested, but I do need something to spend all that extra mana on, now that I'm not just burning loud healer charges on it. So, yeah, okay, I'll start to get rid of, you know, like, might be 8 or so monsters by the time I finish this level. That's fine. I realise that the mana may well be better spent on the red flag, but while I don't need to use red flag, it's just going to waste. Yes. But that's all you can tell. Yeah, and you can just keep getting more Mjolnirs. But then where did he go from here? What will he do? So I'm looking over here, and only one of these could be, but neither of them are guaranteed to be, and that's rough. I mean, I can see what should be. Okay, that feels more helpful than it was. Quite. Yeah, could be any of them. It's got to be one of these and one of these, right? Right. You're bloody well right. Got a bloody right to say. That's got to be, for sure. And only one of these could be, but it does have to be one of these. Therefore, solved. Right. Yeah, you're bloody well right. You don't like to see anything that's going on here, do you? Got a red flag it. Yep. Paid off. And I get to keep my flag. That's what I like. I like my flag. Just remembering Noel Fielding's Moon from The Mighty Boosh. Yeah, that's not suitable for kids, is it? Then again, I've never... I know when you upload these days, you get prompted to, because of copper, say, you know, is my video suitable for children? Probably isn't. I've not actually declared whether or not my videos have been suitable for children. Prefer to use the old uploader. I found it easier to upload in bulk. But yeah, I'm not really down with unsupervised use of YouTube anyway, because you do hear some horror stories about what's on those YouTube Kids apps. But some of the stuff on there is dross. Anyway. Freaking Marvel finger family. Yeah, that'll do. So we've got a nice amount of defense. Bleeding's fine, better than melting. That is nothing. And that is terrible. Although... how about this then? Loot explodes, doesn't it? Loot kills boss. And now we're off. Much easier. It's not very often you get to use exploding to your advantage. I normally hate it as a mod, although when this level is over I am going to be going to town on that particular chip there. Not that I really need chips or anything, but, well, it's an artifact in it. I might go into making something useful later on. I realise I'm not doing my spy due diligence. That's terrible. I'm not really sure where I fit in with copper, to be honest. Because, isn't that an American law? Or is it? I haven't really read much about it. I know some people are getting particularly heated up about it, and I mean, for sure, if YouTube is your living, then yeah, I could see it being a pretty big issue. But for mere mortals like myself, with a you know, a day job and all the rest of that stuff, yeah, it's having to worry about being able to really upload to my minor media empire. I'd say it feels like a nice problem to have. In reality, it seems like being a YouTuber is actually really bloody difficult work. It seems like really long hours, and like your entire career could just drop out from underneath you at the drop of a hat. Plus the amount of time you actually spend editing and having to be constantly on, constantly a personality. I mean, when I'm at work, if I'm having a particularly bad day from an emotional perspective, then it's not that unreasonable for me to just put my headphones on and just kind of crank out some work and just sort of lose myself in the things I do for a living. And it's fine. And no one really gets on my back about that kind of thing, which is great. I love that. But I can't imagine, you know, being a YouTuber and just, I'm having a bad day, but my audience demands content. So if I don't put it out, then I don't make money. I mean, that's dreadful. It's a terrible way to live. Stressful and everything. I'm only opening these just in case they have, you know, oh, what do you call the things? The good things? Blueprints, yeah. Yeah, that wasn't so bad. That's pretty toothless, really, as far as hero trials go. I'm absolutely not complaining. I mean, I'll never complain about having an easy ride. But, yeah, pretty pleased. Okay, I'll see you in a minute.